Hello everybody, it's Mimberly and welcome back to the channel. Now, for those of you who have not been keeping up with the channel, you would have known that the Vampire Sylus, which we're going to talk about in a bit, trailer dropped yesterday, and my reaction was pretty excited, shall I say. But looking at the comments, there seems to be a lot of kind of 50-50 with regards to this one. Some of you saying that you were kind of hoping they weren't going to go down this path. Maybe you guys wanted it as multi-banner. So what I wanted to do is kind of similar to what I did with the Idol banner, I think it was. And I want to do my own breakdown of the trailer, kind of go over it a little bit more in depth, and see if there's any details here that I may have missed on my initial reaction. But before we do start, I want to just give the disclaimer that this is my own opinion. I am in no way discounting the way that anyone feels in this community about this myth. My personal gut feeling says this is going to be a good one, especially for the Sylus girlies who know his lore. But for some of you who may not potentially know as much about Sylus or may not be as emotionally invested in Sylus as other girlies, that is completely fine. I do not want to, do this video and make people think I'm discounting what they're saying. That's not my intention. I just want to break it down as a Sylus girly and see how my reaction and feedback, or what my gut instinct kind of responds to you guys. So if you do get easily offended, I would not suggest this video is for you. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let me load up the trailer and let's get into this deep dive. Okay, right, so we're back on the trailer. The first thing I want to talk about is this visual. Now, this is a beautiful piece of artwork. So in fold, first off, big claps. And I'm going to just say this now. I don't know if this is just me, but I have noticed that in this one, both of his eyes are glowing. So I don't know whether the ether core in his right eye is playing any potential factors here, but I am noticing that MC seems to be gripping. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually unlock my cursor so you can actually see where I'm pointing. Her hand here seems to be gripping at his chest, almost like she's trying to grab his heart. And obviously, you got this bit here, which suggests that Sylus is probably just bit her. Now, I think this could be where the whole vampire thing is coming from, but I did not read the text on the trailer very well, so we're going to dive into that. But I also do very, very much like the piercings on him, but let's get into this. So first off, let's start with this scene. So we're at a church. Now, is this the church that we've been to previously, like in the alternative Nightborn card where we married him? I don't know. Well, it was technically not a marriage, but let's face it, it was basically next to a marriage. And the text, in an era where death's shadow looms, the masses worship magic's radiance, yet the mages yearn to enter this sacred core and rewrite fate. Does that or does not scream ether core to me? So, a rewriting fate, and maybe there's doomed, like maybe it's a prophecy sort of situation, maybe like similar to Raphael Merman myth with Pimpy, obviously the mermaid one. I say mermaid, he wasn't a mermaid, but you know what I mean. Because they obviously had that doom prophecy coming up as well. And then they mention mages here. Now, from the fight scene that we see later on in the trailer, I am pretty sure that the MC is a mage in this myth. But we're going to move on to the next bit. Because, like, first off, look at this courtyard. It is smothered in roses. And this pulls me back to the Valley Dreamborn myth. The card. I can't remember what it's called now. I want to say it's like Valley Dream Bloom or something like that, where Sylus and MC are in a field of flowers. I'm pretty sure that during the part where you can kind of zoom in and out on him, there was a rose there. Now, it was white, not red, so that could symbolize potentially something here. But the sacred core is about to manifest. Only by summoning the Archfiend Sovereign and wielding his immense power can I break the curse. Now, Archfiend, when we're talking about Sylus, especially in Dragon Sylus myth, he mentions being a fiend on multiple occasions. So, is it the case, again, this is just my personal opinion, could be wrong here, but the fact that he is saying Archfiend to me it's suggesting this is not fully a vampire sort of situation. I think it's just because we see the neck bite and this kind of aesthetic. It definitely looks more like a vampire situation, plus the coffin, which we'll get into later. But also Sovereign, that is the same as the dragon myth. So I definitely think they are sticking to some sort of thing. I'm going to be blunt though, I am kind of glad they did not go down the god route for Sylus, only because we've already had that with Raphael, we've already had that with Zane. So if Sylus had been some sort of god, I don't think it would have made sense for his lore. But let's see the next bit here, because obviously they're mentioning a curse here. Okay, right. Yeah, this bit has been done so well. So I do apologize that the video is a little bit jumpy. But look, you can see there's some sort of incantation on the floor, which MC seems to be drawing with something. And we're going to talk about her outfit in a minute, because her outfit is absolutely stunning. Oh, God, I've just clicked off the thingy. There we go. Right. So I don't know too much about like witches or anything, but what she seems to be using is maybe some sort of herb or chalk maybe. I don't think it is chalk because it is glowing red, so maybe that's some part of a ritual that's going on here, because you can see here they've got like an incantation in the back which looks like some sort of book. And then you can see here, she's actually got similar things on her sleeves. Now, that could just granted be sleeve design, but she is using her blood as an offering. Now, I can't see anything really about the blade, but the blade does seem to have some sort of incantations on, you know, the rims, like this bit up here. That definitely could just be, again, aesthetics, but it does very similarly match to what's on her sleeve, so maybe she's dressed up for the occasion, I don't know. But yeah, so she's cutting into her hand and she's offering her blood as some sort of price. And then seeing the bats here, there's like a lot of bats coming out, which again I think is just kind of leaning towards a vampire aesthetic. And then you have the man himself. Now first off, I just want to say, out of all the long-haired myths we've had so far, I genuinely think Sylus is probably suiting him the best. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. It just seems a lot more tidy. Like, I'm going to try and not get too distracted. But, like, look at this here. If that is not screaming demon/vampire, I don't know what is. But I just think the long hair just really slaps. I don't know if it's because of the outfit he's also got, which again we're going to dive into a little bit more in a minute, but I do want to just start off by saying that out of all the long hair designs, I, in my personal opinion, think Sylus is the best. Not just because I'm a Sylus girly, but because I think it just suits him a bit better. I think when it comes to long hair, my top three would obviously be, like, if you were to say, oh, one character's got to lose the long hair, would it be? Who would it be? I'd honestly would say Zane. And the reason I say that, before you Zane girlies go attacking me in the comments, I'm not particularly fond how Info did a version of Zane without the glitter in his hair. Now, again, I get it, he's the god of annihilation and things like that, but I would have loved to see a long hair version of Zane, or maybe a toggle version where you can turn like the glitter parts in it, or the glitter strands in his hair off. But that personally, even though I still love that myth, don't get me wrong, when it comes to long hair aesthetically now, I think the other three were just kind of better for me because they looked a little bit more realistic. But Sylus is here. He seems a lot more tidy. I don't know if that's just me, because if I just hide my webcam for a second, you can see on this bit here that when it comes to like the others, they seem to be like more volume. This one seems a lot more styled and a lot more like, I want to say maintained. So again, that could just be me, but I do really like how it seems to be more maintained here. Well, plus the fact, Archfiend, so. Right.
Used your blood as bait. I hope you're prepared to become my feast.
Okay, right, this is a very good visual to stop on. So, first off, he is slapping. We are loving the outfit. I love the fit on him here. I'm not usually a ruffles girly. I'm going to be blunt. I see ruffles and I can't fucking stand it. But on other characters, it looks great. And the long hair here, he looks majestic. I'm loving all the little intricate details on his clothing here. You can tell Infold have really put a lot of time and effort into this outfit because they've done so well. They have done so well. He is clearly a very big authoritative figure here, and he is just screaming dominance, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about that. But again, kind of talking more about theorizing here. He mentions that we use blood as bait, which means and could potentially suggest that we've attempted this ritual multiple times. Because he goes, oh, you used your blood as bait. And then the bit after that he says here is, I hope you're prepared to become my feast. So that would suggest that maybe the ritual has got, is kind of like, I don't want to say like a taming situation because I don't want to make it sound weird. But maybe it's a situation where you use the ritual to summon him, and then if he chooses to appear before you, you've then got to best him to get control of him. And I think this links to his linkage. Now, the linkage, I think, is going to be the very big important part of this myth, because when it comes to the dragon myth, obviously, he halves his soul with MC. And they both share halves of the same soul. So MC has got half of Sylus's, Sylus has got half of hers. So that's kind of that situation. But that didn't really explain the linkage. Like I know there were some people who were saying that the linkage is a part of the soul thing, and that obviously could still be the case. But the fact that we see the Evo linkage multiple times on this trailer is suggesting to me that that's going to be a very big part to play here. But yeah. Oh, God. Right. Now, this text is very important. So, to make the Archfiend Sovereign obey comes at a steep price. What is the steep price?
You're the one.
I don't know, but...
Who awake?
Oh, yeah, this is a very good visual. Right, okay, so... You're the one who awakened me. So, again, that could imply some sort of ritual to wake him up. I'm still leaning towards a ritual situation. But when I'm looking here, okay, to make the Archfiend Sovereign obey comes at a steep price. Could that potentially be the linkage? Could it be another soul situation? There are multiple ways that Infold could be going down here. Obviously, I'm not the biggest theorist. I tend to miss a lot of the small details. That's why I'm starting to do these analysis trailers. I will say, though, they are very out of my comfort zone. So if I am missing anything, or you think what I'm saying is complete gobbledygook, please just tell me, because I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But if we go back really quickly, his hand is on our throat. Maybe the price could be blood, because obviously we do see Sylus biting our neck later on, which again I'm going to talk about in a minute. But I just want to again re-emphasize by saying that I'm loving MC's fit here, because like there's multiple references to roses.
Awakened me.
Okay, immediately, you're the one who awakened me. He immediately goes in for a kiss. Oh dear, but are you noticing, like, you got the green stones here, and then you got the red stones on him? So, I don't know what that could possibly link to. That could just be a design thing, but it could be maybe that's the colour of the mages, and obviously he's an archfiend, so that could be red. I don't know. Oh, good lord. Yeah, this is the bit I wanted to talk about. I think this is where a lot of the confusion is coming in, because I'm seeing a lot of people saying, oh, it's Vampire Sylus, and then other people are saying, oh no, he's Archfiend. I think technically both are correct to a degree. So obviously it mentions Archfiend Sovereign, so that's obviously what he is. Because I think Infold would have just said vampire or made a fancier term for vampire. But just for the sake of experimentation, I am going to load up something on my second screen. I am going to type up what an Archfiend actually is. Right? Because I was thinking about this before, and I was like, oh wait, I should have actually probably checked that. So, I'm going to read out to you officially what an Archfiend is according to Google. So, an Archfiend is a chief fiend mostly used to refer to Satan. Well, that's a great bloody start. It also describes a high-ranking demon or devil in various mythologies, occult beliefs, and fantasy settings, often as a leader of other demons. In some cases, Archfiend can also refer to a specific archetype of cards in the trading game, card Yu-Gi-Oh, etc. But in religion, an Archfiend is a highly ranking demon, a leader of other demons, or an archdemon. So, yeah. And the term is sometimes used interchangeably with Satan, the chief of fiends. So, he's definitely got some sort of high power. Maybe he's a leader of a group of demons, so they need his power to stop this curse or whatever it is. It could be maybe that demons are invading the city and they need the Archfiend to stop them because he's the leader, but to do that you gotta pay a price. I don't know. We're gonna find out when the myth drops on the 2nd of December, because we will be pulling for it, even though I am not in the financial position to do so. I gotta pray that the wishes I've been saving are gonna pay off. But the tongue action here is crazy. Yes, but there you go.
Shall I give you?
I think that's where a lot of confusion about the vampire thing came on, was because of the bite. We'll find out more about that soon. I can't really comment too much on that because I haven't got any theories for that. But here we go. Once the linkage is formed, you'll have to listen to me. The Evo linkage is directly said here. And you'll have to listen to me. Which ties into the whole, a steep price has to be made for the Archfiend demon to obey. See, look, there it is here. And I think this is where this fight happens. Because I was like, oh, why are we fighting him? But now that I'm diving into this a bit further, my personal theory is the fact that when they say the Archfiend sovereign can obey, but a steep price must need to be paid, I think the fact is you have to fight him and basically prove yourself to him. And if you don't, you're gonna die. I think that's what they mean by steep price. And maybe the linkage is sort of a thing that once it's there, that's it. You can never break it. But
Amateur's trick.
Yeah, he does look amazing. But yeah, I think this is where MC, because you can see her hand here is gripped around Sylus' wrist, which to me is saying she's trying to get the linkage to like lock, and maybe he's trying to stop it, but he's doing it in a cocky way. Yeah, I am really appreciating, you know, like they're kind of dancing at the same time, which is very playing into Sylus's like teasing personality. So he's kind of playing with her.
This is how you should do it.
Oh, you know, the finger over the thumb. That's not the first time he's done that, or the finger over the lips. And then he yeets her into the tower here, which again, does this not look like a church? Okay, right, I missed that bit of text, but I saw the word dance, right? Dance with the most perilous of beings. Could that be Sylus?
An immortal. Do you have some worth?
So look at this, right? I'm gonna quickly go back. I'm gonna admit it is a little bit difficult because the video is jumping a little bit. But in this part here, MC has stabbed Sylus here. And it looks like Sylus has stabbed NC here too. Because like, look, you can see it going through here. And then Sylus goes, an immortal, you have some worth. Now, could that be the case that MC is a mage who has managed to get immortality? Or I don't know. But when they say an immortal, he wouldn't just be referring to like, you know, some sort of magic. I think MC is probably some sort of immortal being. Again, maybe she's achieved immortality through her magic. I don't know. But again, I'm just throwing ideas out here leading up to the myth on the 2nd. Because I think, honestly, the game generally has just got so much potential at the moment with this myth. And I'm really sad, truth be told, that the community is so divided about this. Because I know the Sylus girlies have really been looking forward to the myth. And the fact that this myth is not, you know, hitting where it needs to be, or where Infold would probably like it to be. It does really upset me because I do love this community, but I know that we can be sometimes not the most pleasant of communities, shall I say. So that's another reason I kind of wanted to just sit down and break through this. We've only got 51 seconds and I've already been talking for 20 minutes. So, like, you have some worth, okay. That means that at that point, maybe, so that's sort of a point where Sylus is going, maybe this mortal might be worth, like, you know.
My dearest wife.
Yeah. My dearest wife. That line alone has caused me so much grief and confusion. I've been thinking about this since the trailer yesterday. Now, I've got 3 theories here. Theory number 1 would be that maybe MC and Sylus knew each other before he became an Archfiend, and that's why her blood was able to summon him / awaken him. Option 2 is that maybe that line has been basically picked up, because Infold like to mix around their lines during these trailers. So maybe this is after the fight and Sylus has accepted MC, and then they've just thrown my dearest wife at this part to kind of get us to think a little bit. So it could be the fact that we technically do become his wife, but not at this point in the card, which is why that doesn't quite make sense. Or the alternative third option that I was thinking on a whim is maybe the price is becoming Sylus's wife. Which, if that's a steep price, that's fucking cheap to me. But that's again, I think I again would be very interested to hear your theories in the comments, because again, I'm just theorizing, but this is very interesting to me.
But this ends now. Listen to fate's dying echo.
Also liking the fact that he's got 4 wings here, but
Summon Death's Shadow.
yeah.
Now.
Oh my god, this video is so jumpy. Hold on, I'm gonna try reloading the video and just seeing if it gets rid of the jumpiness, because I don't remember it being this jumpy when I was reacting to it yesterday. One moment. Okay, I've reloaded the video. I don't know if that's going to help at all, but it has improved my video quality. So there was some benefit to that, but he's got, I don't know where this other wing is. You can't really see it in this frame, but you can see he's got his wings out. Stunning. So this is obviously like the battle animations here. No, it has not helped to the video in the slightest, but the side eye. Hello.
Fall into infernal abyss.
Infernal abyss again. Oh. Again, like, look, there's so many references to roses here.
Matters more absurd than death. I'll grant your wish. After all, not even death can sever our bond.
Not even death can sever our bond. Oh, that alone is a thing we can talk about. But, oh, good lord. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go back here. This, I think, is where the confusion's been coming in. Because, look, he is very clearly biting MC. MC's looking like she's kind of, Delulu is the Salulu sort of situation. No, she looks like she's kind of just letting him do it. And notice how Sylus has got her neck positioned in a way where he can see the crevice, so like this bit here. That is obviously a some sort of claim more than anything to me. But it was a very quick bite.
To your heart's content.
And again.
My dearest wife.
Okay, sorry, I hear dearest wife, and I get, because he's called us his beloved, he's called us multiple names. Obviously, Kitten is currently the most active one, but my dearest wife may have to top that. Oh, could you imagine if they implemented a thing where if you change your nickname in game to like my dearest wife, it makes some sort of reference to the myth Infold? That'd be so good if you did that. But
My dearest wife.
look at that. Evo linkage. Evo linkage. She reached out to him and it's wrapped around Sylus's wrist. Now, in the active timeline or present timeline, she can't control that. So is it the fact that she kind of subconsciously can control him, but she doesn't know how?
Your blood. It tastes better than I expected.
And again, when you look, again, I'm showing you this bit because, like, look, when they're in the air, so you can see this here.
Why?
They're kissing, but the string that's connecting their Evo is wrapping around them almost like they are inseparable.
It tastes better than I expected. All right, you can command me until your blood and power fulfill my desire.
Okay, there you go. Desire. Again, we were feeding Sylus's desire when he was a dragon. So, again, we are linking to another myth, to the previous myth here. But, oh god, there's just... I can't even collect all my thoughts. I should have really written like a script before doing this. But I was like, oh, but the thing is I might be going in, might be doing it, then I might know something else. And, yeah. But, just the way he looks at us here, it makes me weak. Okay, here we go. So more text here. So, a land where roses bloom, brimming with the yearning to rewrite fate. In a world heading towards doomsday, weariness is the true awakening. This is the bit I wanted to talk about mostly. That is Mephisto. No one can tell me otherwise, because think about it. In the current timeline, Mephisto is a mechanical crow and is very attached to MC and Sylus, to the point that Mephisto is basically a messenger between MC and Sylus in the present timeline. I would know. I have a tattoo of him. But when you look at his mechanical parts now, to me, this is a horrible fault. But I have a theory that Mephisto is this crow here, but he was turned mechanical so he wouldn't die. Or if he did die, he could be brought back. Because you can't resurrect pets, as far as I know, in this current timeline. But, and then he's surrounded by roses again. It's a choice shared by us. So that's obviously going to mean MC and Sars here.
This is the end. For mortals, death is inevitable. And although we could never share the same beginning, I believe.
This is what I wanted to talk about here. The detail on the coffin is insane. And does this bit here look like Sylus's chest from the dragon myth to you? Or is that just me? Because there are multiple references here that I'm sure I'm missing just looking at this initially. But obviously when they landed in the church, Sylus was limping. So obviously maybe the mages have turned on MC here, and Sylus was like fighting to protect her. Could literally be anything here. And this is the bit that gets me.
At the very least, we can share our deaths.
At the very least, we can share our deaths. At the very least, if we remember, Sylus died for MC in the dragon myth. This time they're dying together. Or are they? That's the real question. But where fate reaches
So
its
you're
end...
aware. No one wanted me in Philos.
Oh, I hate watching this bit again. But look here. There's a massive gash here with what seems to be red mist coming out of him. That could link to his today evil with energy manipulation. And this could be the lighting, but it looks like the gems here have turned black.
No one wanted me in Philos.
Again, that could just be lighting, but I could be over theorizing. But if you look at the bottom of his cape here, that looks red. So I did not notice if it was like that earlier in the myth. I don't think, or earlier in the trailer. I don't think it is. So maybe that could be where blood has spilled onto the cape. And if you look here, MC seems to be tired as well.
It's you who awakened me, the person who blesses me. It must be you.
I hate hearing this song, because when I hear songs like this in the background, I know something's sad's about to happen. But Sylus, I bestow my blessing upon your birth. And then the rose gets placed against the forehead.
I have truly been born into this world with you in it.
Infold know what they're goddamn doing. First off, let's just talk. I didn't mention this just now because I kind of wanted to leave it. But where is it? The crow flies off.
The end.
This looks like the church from the dragon myth. And alternative
Death is
Nightborn.
inevitable. And although we could never share the same beginning, I believe, at the very least, we can share our deaths.
I wish the video was not so
No one
jumpy.
wanted me in Philos. Yet it's you who...
Yeah. Look at this. If this is not the church, I don't know. Because looks so much like the church here. My emotions are already just getting on top of me. Just playing this back. Let alone playing the myth on the second.
awakened me,
But, like, look at that. He's, like, kneeling down to her. Now, I'm going to quickly actually look this up as well. Because I am curious. So, the fact that MC places, like, a rose against his forehead, I don't know if that actually means anything. So, what does it mean if a rose is placed against your forehead? So, placing a rose against a person's forehead is an intimate and symbolic gesture, the meaning which largely depends on the specific context, relationship, and cultural background. So, it could mean... Let's have a little look. And the thing is that, again, Google's not really being helpful here. I'm going to see if there's any link to, like, Archfiend and Roses. Just to see if there's any, like, reference. Okay, it's just saying, about Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, that makes sense. I do not actually know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're going to ignore that. I don't know what, significance a rose has here. So maybe one of you guys can point this out to me in the comments, maybe?
person who blesses me. It must be you. I'm
just pissed that Silas's hair is that long and it looks better than mine, but there you go. But, like, look, his eyes seem so much softer. And playing this with Lucio is going to be very interesting, because, like, it's the softness in his gaze. But it's almost like she's doing some sort of ritual to stop him being a demon and maybe be born into the everyday world. I don't know. But can we talk about that position a minute where he's, like, looking up at NC here? Does that not look like alternative Nightborn? There are so many poses and, like, references, and I know these are little things, but oh, my heart.
I have truly been born into this world with you in it.
I've truly been born into this world. That could symbolize maybe the curse being broken. Maybe. Oh. And then he's holding her very close here. And he falls into the coffin with MC here. And the linkage there seems to either A, disappear or break. To me, that looks more like a break. So it's almost like Sylus is holding on to her desperately because he doesn't want that connection to end. Because I'm going to be honest, at this point, I think MC's already gone by this point here. It looks like to me she's already gone. And Sylus is kind of just holding her close.
From the moment we're born to when we breathe our last, we shall inevitably walk the same path. It's the greatest blessing for us.
And look, this vine here is wrapped around both of their hands. Right, okay. That is very difficult to talk through without emotional support. I'm not going to go into the rest of it. I'm going to leave the rest of it for the myth. But those were my kind of initial thoughts and, like, things I've noticed going back through the trailer. Oh, actually, before I do, really quick one. This background definitely screams that church. That church has got so much significance to MC and Sylus' story. And I really hope they dive more into that church in the future. Because, you know, it seems to be a very big part in MC and Sylus' relationship. And honestly, I think they've just done a very good job with this overall. Now, I will admit, I can understand why some people are upset about the whole vampire thing. Because I think it would have been cool to have, like, a multi-banner where the boys are vampires. But at the same time, I feel like the vampire lore, there's just so much to vampires. I don't think that info would be able to cram it into one multi-banner without the cards being too long. Like, if we think back to, like, for example, Tomorrow's Catch-22, when I played through those cards, that took me about an hour and a half to go through both endings. And I'm going to be honest, I think there's going to be no pleasing everybody. That's just natural. And I just wish there wasn't so much controversy about this one, because I have been seeing some people getting like verbally or, message abused online just for saying their own opinion. And that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to start doing more analysis videos, because at the end of the day, I'm just a goofball who just loves the game, and I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I will always say that. Like, I'm not as good as these people. Like, for example, Cyberspace Malls, who we've reacted to on the channel multiple times before. She sees things that we don't. And I think this is where these analysis videos are very unique. Because even though we're looking at the same thing, everyone looks at situations differently based on their own experiences. And as somebody who has kind of... I downloaded the game for Sylus, and I've stuck with Sylus since day one, even though there have been a few close calls, don't get me wrong. But Sylus he just ticks everything on the book for me. He's teasing, he's softy, even though he comes across as big bad guy when he's not. And don't get me wrong, Sylus is not a saint, I've never said that, but when it comes to MC, he will basically do everything in his power to protect her and keep her close. And he encourages MC to be her boldest self because he knows that she can handle it. Probably because of their past experiences here. So, and again, we had multiple references to him being a vampire. Like, I can't remember which secret time it was, but there was one where they were in a church, I think. And Sylus mentions, oh, I'm like a vampire. Oh, I can guess why you say that. White hair, red eyes. The vampire was mentioned ages ago, so it's not like this has come as a massive surprise to anyone. I'm just amazed at how they've pulled it off. But the last thing I want to pull up before we finish today, we're going past the Kindleds here, is the outfit. So look at this. This is his normal outfit. But then when you change it, explain to me why he looks like Nouvellette from Genshin Impact. No one else can tell me otherwise. He looks like Nouvellette. Not that I'm complaining, because I love him, but at the same time, I have not been able to unsee that since I picked it up when rewatching this trailer leading up to me making this video. But on that note, that's all I've kind of got for now. I'd love to see you guys theorizing in the comments, kind of leading on for tomorrow, because by the time you guys do see this this video, it's not going to get out until tomorrow, most like, or like the day before. I might be lucky enough and get it out on the 30th. I don't know. It depends on how long the render is going to take. But I do just want to take a moment just to say thank you, because like these sort of videos are very challenging for me to make. So it's a very big step outside of my comfort zone. And as somebody who, I'm going to be honest, since I did my last Cyberspace Malls reaction, I had some feedback that I was talking over Malls too much, which again, complete hands up, was my fault. But it did knock my confidence for doing like any sort of different content, because I get very passionate about what I'm doing. So sometimes I can go too far, and that is just a fault of mine. That's something I've got to deal with and I'm learning to adapt to. But when you make a video and then you get certain people saying, I couldn't watch the video because you were just talking over the person too much, it really upset me, because I did genuinely think that video was going to perform better than it did. And when I do get feedback like that, which is amazing to get because it means I can learn from it, it does make me take a step back, because I record a lot of my videos in bulk. So by the time, say for example, I've recorded one video, 9 times out of 10 I got about 4 other videos in the backlog ready to go. So if I only hear this video, that feedback, say on a Tuesday, I might have already recorded like 10 other videos in the past 2 days that, have got the same issue, and I don't want to, re-react to it, because then my reactions are not going to be genuine, so I just post them anyway. But it does get very, very nerve-wracking when I'm posting something and putting myself out there, and I now know that there's a problem, being that I tend to talk over. And that's honestly one of the reasons I've not done the Cyberspace Malls ever video yet, because I just want to do a few other reactions first just to check if that feedback is still coming back to me before I do such a highly requested video. And that's not me having a go at you, this is just me being transparent and honest. So when I try something new like analysis videos and, you know, I get a bit mixed reactions, I do get very nervous about doing them. So if you guys could just leave me some feedback, even if you got no faults on the on anything I've said, if you could just let me know if you were happy watching it, or if you got bored at any point, or if I rambled, I would really appreciate that feedback because I want to start doing more of these. And ideally the situation would be I do one after every trailer, but you know, that's going to be time depending. But on that note, I'm going to leave you guys to get on with the rest of your day. So thank you so much for watching. Again, let me know any theories you guys have got yourselves in the comments. Maybe some of you who are more further ahead on the World Underneath stories than I am can give me some insight. And yeah, I just want to say again, thank you for just being a part of this community, and that I love you very much, and I hope you have an amazing day.